In this video, you will see two of the field trips that Rex went on to prepare him for trail class, to see some obstacles, just to get off property and ride around. And the first location is Stirrups and Strides in Citra. It's an amazing nonprofit therapeutic riding farm for people with disabilities, and I've been volunteering here for a few years. They have an amazing covered arena and also a trail course. So here we are in the covered arena. Rex is like looking at stuff, and I like to do like a little run through for conditioning class anytime you get somewhere new. So we jog in hand, stop, ground tie, and pick up all 4 feet. At this stage, he was still very green under saddle, so steering was still kind of a new concept for him. I'm able to really yield his hip over and have control of his back legs, but sometimes we get that shoulder sticking far out and kind of a little trouble trying to move his shoulder over, but I was really happy with his first time doing weave pulls here. And this amazing volunteer at Stirrups and Strides offered to ride Mac here, the big gray horse. He is very experienced on this trail course, very steady, quiet horse, so he was a great horse to follow around. It's, I think, a great tool to use another horse to get them to have confidence and just know that it's, okay to go around the trail course. Some people may consider that cheating, but it just makes the process a lot smoother and easier your first time around. And then obviously you want them to be independent after that. But I was super happy that Mac was available to give us a hand. Another great aspect of this field trip is that this area to ride in is right on a road that a lot of semis pass through, so it's great exposure to loud noises and traffic for him. So you see he spooked at the mailbox once, next time around not as bad, but still very, very small spook. So the next day we went on another field trip to a farm just down the road that had built some amazing new obstacles. They're going to be hosting a lot more events soon. It's Square One Horse Park in Archer, and here we are getting more experience with some pool noodles. This bridge was pretty narrow, so I had a lot of patience getting him up there, and then once he did, it was really funny because he got stuck.
He's up there now, he won't get down.
Stuck on the bridge. He goes, well, I'm up here. Good boy.
That's one thing I really love about this horse. He could stand around all day long. He's definitely more whoa than go, super chill. and just loves to stand. So some of these obstacles definitely did require more patience to get over them, and it's just one of those things that the slightest try, the slightest move forward, that little bit of willingness that you get out of them is the time to stop and reward, rather than trying to chase them over the obstacle, put a bunch of pressure on all at once. I'm just trying to train him, it's okay to take it one step at a time. And hopefully by trail class, he's just done enough of this that he never hesitates and he trusts me enough to go right over. And this teeter bridge was really fun. He has practiced a teeter bridge somewhere else, and this one lets you down a little bit easier. So we're still up there, and I think that was a fair reaction for his first time being over the bridge at this location. And he's pretty good with poles, so he did have to think about it for a second there, but that's okay. He really prefers to paw at tarps, and I think I got him in a little bit of a bad habit at home, letting him paw at the tarp instead of just walk over every time. So that one doesn't move when he paws, and that was just a little different than what he was used to. So here I just had to start meeting him where he was, because he started to pick up a bad habit of stepping that hind end around to kind of avoid the obstacle. So now I'm just going to reward every time he's straight onto it and gives me that bit of willingness to go forward, even if it's a tiny bit, and just continuing to add a little bit of pressure until he tries harder every time, until we finally get up over this big obstacle, which I'm super proud of him for doing. So it's nice to watch these videos back, because I can see a lot from the ground that I may have not necessarily been picking up on. I think I was a little distracted with a lot going on, and my releases are just off. They're not the perfect timing, which nobody's perfect, but I can see now from this angle that I could have released a little bit sooner a couple of times when I just got him straight on, and I was being a little lenient with that hip going over. Here, see, I stop giving the pressure at the wrong time, and then I reevaluate and go over in hand with him, which I do think was the right decision, because we were just kind of getting hung up. So he trusts me so much on the ground. We've spent so much time on the ground together that he will almost always go over something on the ground with me. So I just kind of reevaluated, pivoted what I needed to do, and that's what you see me doing here. So I think this is a little bit of laziness actually coming through here. He's not being as willing as, he normally is, because we had been there for a little while at this point. So we did have to work through and troubleshoot a little bit of that laziness, and here we finally get the desired response. I like that he's looking down, and I'm telling him easy. He wants to rush a little bit, but that's just a good moment to learn from, and I'm really glad I have these videos to look back and see where I could have done things better. I personally thought this obstacle was the most difficult one, and he had done so great that day that I decided to just do this one in hand, and I was really happy with him overall. And he's just a funny horse. At this point, he rather just stand around all day than really do anything. So I think one of our biggest things we're troubleshooting now is really just laziness on his end, but still very willing and just a really great horse. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.